Hello, I am the gremlin in the corner. My name is Raquel, and I make custom content for Paralives. I don't make videos, but I did want to make a really quick video on how to move your mods from the Steam Workshop folder to the Paralives Mods folder. I'm also going to show you a file that you can browse through to figure out why your game won't load. So why would you even want to move your mods in the first place? If you have experienced any issues with your mods, for instance, you load it in game and it shows up bright white, moving it to your local Paralives folder tends to be the fix. A couple of things to note beforehand. Paralives is still new. There's still a lot of bugs. So sometimes even when you move the mods over, it'll still show up white. However, it usually does fix with a restart. It's not like when it's in the Steam Workshop folder where it feels pretty permanent. The other thing I want to mention is that once you do move the mods, you should unsubscribe from them in the Steam Workshop. This does mean that if any of the mods have an update, you won't get it. So I suggest really only moving things like home decor or other things that probably won't require an update. Some things like maybe the camera fix mod might require an update in the future, so that might be something I leave out of my local folder. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through that right now. I'll also put everything in the description so it's easy for you to find. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. The first thing you want to do is you want to click on your mods folder. Once it loads, you want to locate the mod that you want to move. You're going to go ahead and click on the folder. Once you click on it, you're going to be directed to all of the files that are in that mod. However, we want to go up one folder. You can either click on this arrow up here or this number here. I'm just going to click on the arrow, and then you will be brought to the folder containing everything that the mod has. Right click on it and hit copy. Now we need to find the local Paralives folder. In the description, I will post the location where most people's Paralives folder is, but I will also walk you through it here in case you can't find it. First, I'm going to go to my C drive, and then I'm going to click on users. Click on the folder that matches your computer's name. Mine is work. And we're going to need to get to AppData. AppData is actually a hidden folder. So in order to see it, you can go to view, show, hidden items. And then there's AppData. You can click on that. Click on LocalLow. Click on Paralives. Click on Paralives again. And this is where you would right click and paste that mod. Because I've moved the file, I'm going to go ahead and unsubscribe from it because I don't want duplicate places. It just takes up space. And I don't know, it might break the game. After that, I would probably turn your mods off and on just to make sure that the moved file loads in game. But after that, you're done. The second thing I want to show you is the player log that you can go through to see what might be preventing your game from loading. If you scroll to the bottom of your local Paralives folder, there is a file called player. This file will tell you exactly why your game is not working. It tells you all the assets that are loaded and any that it could not load. A lot of times, some of these things don't impact your game at all. In fact, this is what my player log looks like right now, and everything functions totally fine. So because my game is working just fine, I went ahead and copied the player log from when it didn't work one day. At this time, my game wasn't working because of this right here. This is basically the bottom of the file, and it says directory not found. It was Skyzy's Coastal Collection. I ended up removing this mod and my game worked just fine. This isn't necessarily the only phrase that you should look for in the file to see why something isn't working, but anything that you see that has the word exception or error or could not load, those are things that you want to look for in this file to see why the game isn't loading. This file isn't as daunting as it looks, and you can just hit Control F. And you can search those words to figure out where it might be in here. But honestly, I can kind of glaze over it with my eyes and see what's not working. That's it. That's all I had to share with you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Also, you can find me in the Steam Workshop. Here I am. I mostly make Y2K type stuff, but who knows what I'll come out with next. But thanks for watching.